You are not responsible for everybody's feelings, thoughts, and emotions. You can't fix people, nor should you try. Sometimes, as women, we feel like it's our job to fix other people. We sometimes feel as if it's our job to make everyone better. The sadder part is that some women have gotten people accustomed to them being the fixers and stepping in to heal everybody's feelings, everybody's emotions, and being there to coddle others. A woman who is always taking responsibility for other people's emotions, she is often a woman who is very exhausted, very drained, and she tends to give more to others than what they give to her. When you start realizing that you are not responsible for everybody's thoughts, everybody's feelings, everybody's emotions, you allow other people to take care of themselves while you take care of you, you will begin to feel better as a woman. The downside of that is that when you start being, dare I say, a little bit more selfish with you, and you don't find it your responsibility to coddle everybody's feelings and emotions, there will be some people who are going to look at you as if you're supposed to fix it. One of the downsides of always presenting yourself as this strong, I can do everything, I can fix everything, I can be everything to everybody kind of woman, is that when you are the strong friend, because a lot of us have been the strong friend, a lot of us have been the strong family member, a lot of us is the strong one in the relationships or in the friendships. The downside of being that kind of person is that when you need someone, oftentimes nobody is there for you. Now, the way I believe God is always there for you, but as far as a person, sometimes people will begin to see you as if you don't need help. This is the reason why, as women, we have to stop or program ourselves to stop trying to fix everything for everybody. When it comes to feeling like you're responsible for everybody's feelings and everybody's emotions, one way to get out of that is to be comfortable letting people sit in their emotions. Now, I know sometimes if there are people close to us, like a child, a spouse, a family member, sometimes we will feel like it's our job to pull them out of that bad mood, or to make them feel better, or to say something or to do something to make them happy, or to change something in our own lives that's making them uncomfortable so that they can feel better. Self-sacrificing in order to please somebody else, that is not necessarily something that is healthy for a woman to do constantly. When you start realizing that happiness is an inside job and that everybody is responsible for their own happiness, everybody is responsible for how they feel about them, you get out of that role of being the fixer. There are some women, they have played the position of having to, focus on everybody's emotions, trying to make sure everybody is happy and healthy, but in the process, they suffer. A woman who no longer takes responsibility for other people's feelings and emotions, she is a woman who is healing, a woman who realizes that her feelings, her emotions, her life is just as valuable as the next person. Somebody needs help, but she also needs help. And it doesn't make you weak when you recognize those things. So, assuming responsibility for somebody else's feelings and emotions, number one, when it comes to being a fixer, that is not something that you always want to do as a woman. Not only will it mentally exhaust you and make you very tired, it will put you in a position of always being the help and not receiving help. Number two, reason why you do not want to always take responsibility for other people's feelings and emotions, it's because if you do that, you will find yourself living your life based on how other people feel about you. So let's say, for instance, you're dealing with someone who sees you elevating. You're trying to do well for yourself. Maybe you're doing things that are going to push you forward in life. You're becoming more educated. You're becoming more intellectual. you're becoming more spiritual. If somebody is getting threatened or triggered by what you're doing, if you are always worried about what other people feel about what you're doing, you'll never succeed in anything. There are some people, they get so jealous of other people when they see them doing well that they will naturally just put out these bad vibes and this negativity. And if you're not careful, their negative way can distract you from focusing on the things that you're doing. There have been women, the moment they want to start losing weight, all of a sudden their boyfriends or husbands or fiancés are suddenly trying to get in the way and stop them from going to the gym. They try to guilt trip them into believing that they're being a neglectful wife or a neglectful mother because they want to take an hour in the evening to go to the gym to better their health. When you allow somebody else to gaslight and manipulate you by using their feelings, their emotions against you, you are not going to be able to make progress in the way you want to as a woman. Another way people, and when you stop assuming responsibility for other people's feelings and emotions, you no longer let people manipulate you or gaslight you into not doing the things that you know are beneficial for you. It's like you get into this mode as a woman where you don't really care about what they feel about what you're doing, especially when you know you're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything necessarily sinful. You're doing things that are going to help you. And even those positive things, to somebody who might be a little bit jealous of you, or they get threatened by the fact that you're trying to do something different, if you allow their negative emotions to impact you, you won't be able to do whatever it is you're setting out to do. So you are not responsible for anybody's feelings or emotions when it comes to coddling their feelings and their emotions, and when it comes to the things that you do for yourself as a woman. No one's feelings and emotions should have an impact on what you do for you. See, a lot of women have not lived up to their full potential, or they miss out on different opportunities because some guy feels some kind of way about them going back to school, or about them getting, losing weight, or a jealous cousin or auntie or friend feels like they're going to be left behind if you do something to propel yourself forward. So they start getting all sad and down and making little comments. And because if you fall for that trap, you will try so much to make them comfortable that you'll just miss out on the opportunity. It's like you just want to maintain the peace. That is not something that grown women do. So you are not responsible for other people's feelings and emotions. Now, when you add to that, being the kind of woman that has soft strength and you lean more into your femininity, as much as women are very feminine, very gracious, very classy, very much unbothered, that is even more reason why you stop caring about, how can I say it? You stop worrying about carrying other people's feelings and emotions. It's because you start to value yourself more. When you start to value your own emotions, your own feelings more than you value other people's feelings and emotions, and I know that might sound bad, but hear me out. When I say you value your own feelings and emotions more, I mean if somebody is upset about something, well, you know what? You get upset too sometimes. If somebody is disappointed because things are not going their way and you're not doing exactly what they want you to do, you've been disappointed and let down too. As women, this thing about not taking responsibility for everybody's feelings and emotions, I feel like that holds back women more than anything else. There are some women who will look at their children and say, I can't do this because of them. Now, I understand certain circumstances where work schedules, trust me, I've been in the position of turning down good paying jobs because it didn't fit with my child's schedule. So I understand that kind of thing all too well. But I'm talking about that martyr-like way of being that some women have, where it's like you feel like you can't even make any kind of movement because you're going to let someone down. Women who often assume responsibility or take responsibility for other people's feelings and emotions, these are often the women who were taught at a very early age that they live to please everybody else. That it's not about what they want for themselves, it's about what other people want them to do. When you stop taking responsibility for everybody else's feelings and emotions, you can make decisions that are good for you, no matter if other people do not like it. And it doesn't matter if it's family and or friends. Some people may never admit it, but for some people, seeing you elevate, seeing you make progress, seeing you become happier, healthier, wealthier, those kind of things can trigger some people to envy, to jealousy, to treat you differently. So can you imagine living your life based on the opinions and the feelings and the emotions of people who are trying to use their feelings and emotions to gaslight you into staying still? Women who take responsibility for other people's feelings and emotions are easily manipulated. And when you stop doing that, you become harder to manipulate. That's another reason why you should not take responsibility for other people's feelings and emotions. Now, I understand, like, if you're a wife, I'm a wife, and sometimes you can allow how your husband feels about certain things to dictate to you what you should do for yourself personally. In marriage, and this is a little bit of a sidebar, in marriage, you have to understand that while you are together, you're one, you are still your own person. And that your gifts, your skills, your talents, the way you feel about things, those kind of things don't stop just because you get married. You don't cease being a woman because you are now married. You still have to know who you are as a person and not let the marriage become your entire personality. I say that to say some women, especially once they get married or get seriously involved, they suddenly start doing things based on what they think their husband wants them to do and not based on what they know they want to do for themselves as a woman. Now, of course, respectfully, when you are making decisions, you will run those things by your husband, you have conversations, but your life and who you are as a person, your personality and what you do for work and how you live and what you want to accomplish, that is still you. Don't make the mistake of believing that you can only be a good wife if you are always just agreeing with everything your husband wants you to do or how he wants you to be. I had to say that, especially for some of my spiritual girlies, because sometimes I think they take that one flesh out of context, and I can do a whole video on that if you like. But I say all that to say, when you stop taking responsibility for everybody's feelings and emotions, you also begin to look at yourself as a whole person by yourself. You're not looking at you, the mother, you, the wife, you, the employee, you, the daughter. You're looking at you and thinking about, what do I want to do for me? And trust me, after 20 years, almost 21 years of marriage, 2 children, and a lot of work history and family issues, it took a moment for me to get to that point where I start being comfortable enough to just make decisions that were for me and me only. Of course, they would impact my family, but if I was confident, there was no need for me to worry about how somebody else is going to feel. I say that to encourage you. Don't let other people dictate how you move as a woman. So when you start realizing you are not responsible for other people's feelings and emotions, you start moving more freely as a divine feminine woman. You start being more so in alignment with who you were meant to be as a woman. Continue to focus on you. Don't let people manipulate you into taking responsibility for their feelings or their emotions. And don't make your decisions based on what other people want you to do, but really focus in on who you are and how you want to be as a woman. This is Soft Strength Society, where we overcome, evolve, and elevate as women. If any of that interests you, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Make sure your notification bell is turned on so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, put the cute little butterfly emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.